Hi guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. For those of you who are returning back to my channel, then hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. And for those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Katie. I post new videos here on my channel every week, and I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button down below to become a part of our little corner of the internet here. So today we are going to continue talking about my most recent trip down to Walt Disney World, and we are here to talk about food because I love food in general, but there's just something extra delicious and extra magical about the food in Walt Disney World that just makes you go nuts and want to eat everything there. So I thought that I would share with you guys the food that we ate while we were down there. So we are actually going to start at our hotel. We did stay at the Wilderness Lodge, and we pretty much like made a home out of their quick service restaurant, the Roaring Fork. That place is amazing. If you are not staying there, I would suggest heading over there because they have a lot of really great food options. They have a really awesome pastry cabinet, I guess we'll call it, where they have so many different treats to try, which we tried, and I will let you know about them. But then just their food in general is really good. So we were actually looking at the menu before we headed over there, and I'm like reading through, and I was like, man, you know, I'm not like overly hungry, and we had dinner reservations for the night, so I didn't want to get anything too big and crazy. So they had a tuna salad sandwich on their menu, and I was like, I could go for a tuna salad sandwich. That sounds really good. So then my mom and I decided to split it. So again, the most basic, probably boring menu item that they had on their menu. We were so addicted to the tuna salad sandwich. We had it twice while we were there. That was our first meal and our last meal there. Except our last meal, we did have it, each of us got our own. But it is a huge, huge sandwich on very fresh, delicious multigrain bread. And you get the potato chips, like the homemade potato chips as well, which are so good. The kicker to this tuna salad sandwich, however, is that they put relish in the tuna salad, which is so simple, and honestly took my mom and I a little bit of time to figure out like what the extra taste in there was, and it was relish. And that is the only way I will make myself tuna salad for the rest of my life. It was so good and so simple. So I feel like we got off to a great start, because if that was so good, then the rest of the trip will definitely be great. So as I said, we did have reservations that day, so we did not actually plan on eating anything at any of the food booths in Epcot. Epcot was where we went the first day. We had lofty expectations of how much food we were going to be able to eat afterwards. Oh, I will say I got the Orange Bird slushie, or the Orange Bird sipper cup thing. So the drink that came in that was really good. We had that. I saw it when we were walking around, and I knew that I wanted to get that, so I grabbed that. My mom and I shared it, but it was basically like a liquid creamsicle, and it was so good. So I think that kind of filled me up a little more than I anticipated it, because by the time we got to dinner, oh boy, I was so full. But we had dinner at the, and I'm gonna butcher this, I'm gonna say it like so American, the San Angel Inn restaurant in Epcot, and I'm just trying to find the menu so that I can let you know exactly what we got. So this is the restaurant that's actually inside of the pyramid. So there's one that's on the outside that's on the water. This is the one that's on the inside, and it was really good. So my mom and I are both pretty big Mexican food fans in general, and so we were very excited to go here. The atmosphere is really nice. I will say probably my only complaint about this was that it was a very rushed meal as far as the service went. We sat down and we probably within the first 5 minutes, someone came over, took our drinks. We ordered the guacamole, which had, let's see, guacamole topped with mango and toasted pumpkin seeds. Ugh, served with chicharrones and salsa valentina. So the chicharrones were like, I don't really remember what they were. We didn't eat a lot of them, so I'm not even going to go into them. They're just another kind of chip, essentially. But you do get regular tortillas and salsa. But we had barely had our guacamole for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, and then we got our entrees right away. So, you know, there was no real time between the appetizer and the entree to kind of let the food digest a little bit and settle down. So that was truly my one complaint about it, was that it was just, we were in and out of there in 30 minutes, which I think for a sit-down restaurant, I mean, I know in Disney you want to be going, so maybe that's what they're used to, but I like to have a little bit of time when we're sitting down eating food, especially when it's a lot. So my mom got the chili relleno, which is a poblano pepper filled with pulled pork, pine nuts, and almonds topped with roasted tomato sauce served with a side of rice. She loved it. She said it was the best chili relleno that she's had in her life, and she is apparently a chili relleno connoisseur. She's had a lot, so she really, really liked that a lot. I got the the puerco en salsa verde, which was slow braised pork carnitas served with roasted zucchini, rice, beans, and corn tortillas. I didn't get the beans. I'm not a big bean fan. So I did get the rice though, and oh my god, the rice was so good. And I didn't really eat the corn tortillas. I had one and they were good, they were fresh. But I had had the tortillas already, or the tortilla chips already, and I didn't need more of that in my life. But just the pork on its own was very, very tender, very good. I love anything with salsa verde, so I was a happy camper with that. And then we had planned on getting some dessert around the World Showcase, but we were full. And so we just kind of walked around a little bit, let our stomachs settle. So then by the time we got back to the hotel, we were ready for something a little sweet. And as I had mentioned, there is a solid pastry cabinet at the hotel, and they had this, I think it was, a campfire cupcake at the hotel, which is a stunningly beautiful cupcake. There's so much stuff going on the cupcake. And so I chose that was going to be what we had, and it was really good. I think that it's kind of like a marshmallow, it's a chocolate cupcake, and then I think it's marshmallow in the middle. Friday, we were at the Magic Kingdom, and we had breakfast at Sleepy Hollow. I'd never eaten at Sleepy Hollow before, and my mom and I both decided to get the breakfast sandwiches there. Breakfast egg and cheese waffle sandwich served with ham and tomatoes. Oh my god, that was so good. I mean, it was huge, but and again, we had dinner reservations, so we were just trying to find something that was going to tide us over until we had dinner, and that tided us over until dinner. I don't think that we did eat one more thing. My mom wanted to get Dole Whip, so she got Dole Whip. I got the Hey Hey cone, which I loved so much. It was delicious and adorable. So the Hey Hey cone is raspberry sherbet, I guess, whatever, and lemon, I think, on the bottom. It has 2 eyes and then this sour gummy strip in the middle. I could have eaten that sour gummy strip for days. That thing was so good. So then for dinner, we had the storybook dining with Snow White at Artist Point at the Wilderness Lodge. So we got to go back to our hotel, take a shower, get ourselves cleaned up and everything. And this was the first character character meal I had ever done in my life. I've never ever done them. And when I was telling my mom about it, I really wasn't sure that she was going to go for it because she's not big on the characters. So I didn't know whether she would want to or not, but the menu speaks for itself. The menu is really, really good. And so yeah, she was up for it, which was nice. So you get a ton of food when you do the storybook dining, just so you know. I think that it was either between $50 and $60. I thought that it was well worth it. But I think that it depends on your taste in food, I guess. The waitress that we had did say that it was kind of a mixed bag. People either really, really liked it or despised it. Like I said, we loved it. I thought that the food was spectacular across the board. So you do get 3 different appetizers. So it's a mushroom bisque, hunter's terrine. You get a chicken, black truffle, stone fruit preserve, and house-made pickles. And then the wicked shrimp cocktail, which is soy, miso, avocado, Thai chili, and greens with the shrimp. So I ended up getting the royal prime rib roast, which had obviously prime rib, horseradish, mashed potatoes, carrots, and a popover with jus. I thought it was amazing. It was so good. The prime rib was delicious. I've never had prime rib before, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but it was delicious for me. I'm not typically a horseradish person either, but I really liked the mashed potatoes. They were super creamy, very flavorful. I'd never had a popover before either, and it was very, very good. And the carrots were delicious as well. Let's see, my mom got the Sorceress Spell of Land and Sea, which was charred barbecue pork, clams, daikon noodles, spring onion chimichurri, and she liked it. She said it was amazing. She said it was really good. She liked hers a lot. And then you do get 4 desserts technically. So you get the Miner's Treasures, which is like a little, the cakes within like the little shot glass looking things. And it's sponge cake, chocolate gems, and buttercream icing. That was so good. The Poison Apple, which is a dark chocolate apple mousse with a sour center, and a fairy tale gooseberry pie, which was meringue and gooseberry. All 3 of those are amazing. And then they bring out a very fancy presentation of the Hunter's Gift to the Queen, which is crackled maple popcorn and a ganache heart for each person. So they do have different options for the children. The children's appetizer is actually really, really cute. It's a lot of different vegetables and cheese and like healthy snack kind of things, and they're all like in pots, like little terracotta pots, so super, super cute. The character interactions did take a while to come around to us. We ended up going, I ended up going up to the Queen before we left. Apparently, like when they bring out the Hunter's Gift to the Queen dessert to you, that's kind of your cue to be like, okay, you can go up and meet the Queen now. But she came out and nobody was going up to her, and so I went up there, and that was really the reason why we went, was because I was really excited that they had a villain. And the evil queen that we had was really good. She was very intimidating. I had an evil queen shirt on, and I walked up and the photo pass person saw me and said, "Oh, Your Majesty, I think that you have a fan over here." And she turned around and she could not have been less impressed with me. Like, she was just like, and I was like, "So it says I have good taste, right?" And she was like, "Perhaps." And then took the picture and then was done with me, and I was like, wow, okay. But I got to watch her the entire time. That was my view, was watching her, and it was very fun to watch her. Grumpy came over and got very sassy with my mother because she wasn't paying attention. So he came over and like stomped his foot next to her and was like, throwing his hands up. So then when he came around to actually do the meet and greet, like my mom didn't want anything to do with him. So I got pictures with him. I got pictures with Dopey, who was very, very cute. And Snow was, of course, very sweet. But the setting is really pretty. The ambiance of the entire restaurant, the presentation of everything is really nice. So I think if you're looking for a character meal, but you also want maybe an elevated level of food, this would be a great option for you. I think this is a little bit more of a grown-up character meal too, because you don't get to meet the villains in a lot of the character meals. So I think that speaks to that a little bit. We could not fit anything else in our stomach after that. We were so full. In fact, I was full the next day. We had reservations at Kona Cafe, and I was like guns blazing when we got there, like to Walt Disney World. I'm like, I'm so excited to have the Tonga toast. This is going to be amazing. And then the night before, I was like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to eat Tonga toast. Like, I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, I think I might just have the tropical fruit platter. Like, I don't think that there's anything else I'm going to be able to shove in my stomach. So when we woke up, I was like, well, maybe we can get a Tonga toast and we can get a fruit platter and we can just split that between the two of us, which is what we did, which was perfect because the Tonga toast is like that big. It is so crazy. So it's basically just French toast stuffed with caramelized bananas, and it is delicious. And then the tropical fruit platter was really nice. They had some dragon fruit, plums, honey, blueberries, strawberries, mango. They had like these little balls on top, and I thought that they were like the boba balls that you put in bubble tea, but they weren't. They weren't tapioca. They were like liquid once you broke them open, and they were a lot of fun to eat. They were good. So that was a nice light-ish breakfast that we had. The next thing that we ate was the buffalo chicken chips from a cart that I don't remember the name of, but it is right outside of Dinoland USA, like right before you would go under the sign with the dinosaur skeleton over it. There's a cart right to the right. That's where they are. They are so good. That was an awesome snack that we had. And then my mom and I also had dinner at the Yak and Yeti quick service. I think she got the teriyaki beef and I got the sesame chicken. And they were both good. I mean, I've heard people rave about Yak and Yeti. Various people rave about Yak and Yeti. I wasn't terribly blown away with it. I don't know if maybe it was just the food that we got wasn't all that exciting, but it was fine. So then on Sunday, Sunday was our crazy day. So we didn't have breakfast. I just grabbed a banana because we had overslept. So we didn't eat until lunch. And by the time that if you watched my trip recap, we ended up going to Minnie's garden party, which was in the Odyssey building. And it ended up pouring down rain there. So we kind of lucked out because they did have food in there. My mom and I were like, we're getting everything that they have to offer here. We're gonna try it all. They had 3 things that were on the regular flower and garden menu, and then one special treat for the Minnie's garden party, which when we initially went and we ordered our food, they were out of them, but they were like, try back in like an hour, we'll probably have them. Luckily or not luckily, I don't know, we were still there an hour later, so I went back up and they had them. Okay, so this was it's called Arbor, and so it is fried green tomatoes with blue crab fennel salad, remoulade, and smoked paprika oil, smoked salmon stack with avocados, tomatoes, sour cream, caviar, and focaccia crostino, and a mixed berry buttermilk cake with apple cider sorbet. 2 thumbs up for all 3 things. I had never had a fried green tomato before, and I thought that it was really, really yummy. The salmon stack was surprisingly delicious. There was just something about it that didn't sound terribly appetizing to me, but it was so, so good. There was a nice, like, saltiness with the caviar, I guess, and even with the fried green tomatoes. I don't know if it was... I don't know, there was something on there that was also kind of salty, and it was really yummy. And then the mixed berry buttermilk cake with the apple cider sorbet was also really delicious. So then the garden party treat that we had was so extra and so delicious and so cute. I was really happy that it worked out that we were stuck in this place for as long as we were, because Everything was so good. So it was a layered dessert. It had cheesecake over a carrot cake base with a dome top completely packed with whipped cream. And then there was white chocolate ears covered in sugar sprinkles, and there was like this rope around the base that we couldn't figure out if it was chocolate or if it was caramel, but from top to bottom that entire thing was so good. So we ate well there, and then we went to Backlot Express for dinner that night. And I had the caprese sandwich, which was very yummy. A nice lighter option if you're looking for it. Obviously it has tomato and mozzarella. It had a really nice pesto sauce to it, and some arugula on there. And then my mom had the Cuban sandwich for her meal, and we both got french fries with it. And no bad things to say. It was really nice and quiet. It was so quiet back there, which was a plus. So then on Monday we got up and we had again, we had reservations that day. We were eating at Be Our Guest, and so we both just had Mickey pretzels for breakfast because when in Disney, have a Mickey pretzel for breakfast, right? And then we had lunch at Beast's Castle. So I always like an old veteran, you know, eating at Be Our Guest. So I had the croque monsieur, or if you watch Young Sheldon, which we love Young Sheldon, and in this episode we were just watching the other day, his sister calls it a crock monster, which I can't get out of my head now. So it was a very good crock monster. But I had that last year, loved it, and I wanted to try something new this year, but it's good. It's so good. And then last year I had the Master's cupcake, and I honestly wasn't that impressed with the gray stuff, if I'm being real. It was fine, but I just was expecting something a little bit more delicious, I guess. My entire life this gray stuff has been built up in my head that it's delicious, and it was just fine. So this time I got the strawberry cream cheese cupcake, and oh my god, it was a religious experience. It was the most delicious cupcake I've ever had in my entire life. I am craving this cupcake so hard right now. I have found copycat recipes. I am planning on at some point taking over my mother's kitchen because our oven does not work. I am planning on taking over her kitchen where she has a KitchenAid mixer and all of the fixins to make proper cupcakes. We are making those cupcakes. It makes 24, and I am going to make them because if you guys could be in my mouth right now, don't be in my mouth. It would be weird. My mouth is salivating so hard right now just thinking about that cupcake. Oh my god, it's so good. And my mom got the same thing that she got last year. So she got the quiche and she got the lemon meringue cupcake, which she loves both of those things. So I'd love to be adventurous at Be Our Guest, but when things are good, right? So then we did end up going back to the hotel for dinner. We had a late dinner. We wanted to try their bison burger. I love bison burgers. Whenever we go to Fuddruckers, that's the burger I get. I actually just found out that they sell bison burgers at my local grocery store. So we'll definitely be getting those at some point soon too. So we got that, and this is actually a really nice restaurant too. It's right out on the water. So what's actually really nice is if you're able to get down there a little bit earlier, you can snag a table on the water and you'll be able to watch the electrical water pageant go by. And if you're there even earlier, you can grab a table, and then there's a walkway out onto out by the water where you can sit and watch the fireworks for Happily Ever After, which is great. But yeah, so this was bison cheeseburger served on an artisan roll with bacon, Tillamook cheddar, sweet onion straws, lettuce, tomato, garlic aioli, and Marionberry barbecue sauce. So good. so good. Came with chips. A+. So the next day we got up and we went back to our trusty roaring Roaring Fork for breakfast. This was our last day, so we were just, you know, taking it all back in. So my mom and I both just got oatmeal for breakfast. Then we went out, did some stuff, came back, and then we had our tuna salad sandwiches again. Because like I said, it's just the best sandwich. And then we were both like, I feel like we should just get like one more sweet, because we were both saying how we didn't have a ton of sweets while we were down there, which was just kind of funny. Like, I feel like that's what you go down there for, and you have these massive sweets, and we just didn't really eat a lot of them. So we ended up going out with a bang, and we got the most giant macaron that I have ever seen in my life. And it was beautiful, beautiful and delicious. However, it was shaped like it was a Mickey head macaron with a bow. It was huge, and they're just not meant to be big. They're meant to be small little cookies that are just, you know, easy to pick up and pop in your mouth. This thing was just the messiest thing because it was falling apart all over the place, but it was worth trying. I think the cookie was strawberry and the filling was raspberry. So good and glittery. It was beautiful. Absolute beautiful work of art, but not necessarily the most practical thing in the entire world, which is fine. So that is all that we had. And now I'm just like craving that cupcake. And then I was actually like going through Instagram stories, and Becca from Disney Kitty, of course, is down in the parks right now. She took a picture of that cupcake, and I'm like, oh my god, it's just like the cravings are so real. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go give that cupcake a try. Yeah, I'm gonna need that in my life. So let me know, what is your favorite thing to eat when you're down in Walt Disney World, and let me know if you have tried any of the stuff that we have tried. If you've done any of the restaurants that we have done, let me know what your favorite thing is from there, so that maybe next time we go down there we try something different. What's your favorite thing at Be Our Guest? Because I feel like I need to try something that's not just, maybe not just the croque monsieur, but we were also talking to we had these random people stop over and talk to us. I think it was like maybe the general manager or something. I don't know how their managerial levels work at the restaurants down there, but some high muckety muck of Be Our Guest, and then the manager of Liberty Tree Tavern. They came over and just like randomly started talking to us, and actually told us a lot of really interesting stories. So I'll share them with you guys really quick if you don't mind. So we were sitting in the dining room, or in the ballroom rather, and they said that the snow that's falling outside is actually the same animation that was used in the movie that they use in the snow in the ballroom to look like you're looking out onto the balcony, which I thought was a really cool thing. They also told us that the ballroom in Be Our Guest is the only place in the entire world that has a hidden Minnie in the ballroom. So if you are down there and you're looking for her, look in the paintings on the ceiling. That's all I'll say about that. And if you have to cheat like I did, then that's fine too. I had to cheat because they told me, like, he told me not to look up. But that's on the ceiling, so I was like, we were looking at the walls and like all of the detail on the walls, and we weren't finding anything. And I was really thinking that it was going to be like, you know, the hidden Mickeys are very easy to see, and this one wasn't the easiest one to see. And then the last one that he told us was that a week before the restaurant was supposed to open, the giant chandelier in the ballroom was delivered in one box, fully assembled, and it wouldn't fit through the door, the main door of Be Our Guest, which is the only, like, the biggest entrance that they have there. And and probably I'm sure that they probably have a loading dock somewhere to get all of the food in there, but it would be the easiest way, you know, just kind of a straight shot to get it in the door and into the ballroom to get it hung up. So they had to call a chandelier specialist from Italy to come over. He didn't want anyone to be around. He wanted to work alone. No one, not even Bob Iger, was allowed to come in there to see how things were going. It took him 2 days to take apart piece by piece that chandelier and put it back together, and then another 2 days to get it hung up on the ceiling. How insane is that? He said that they had like all of the tables and all of the chairs set up, and that was the only time, or there were only 2 times in the history of the Be Our Guest restaurant where that entire ballroom was completely emptied out. It was for that, and it was for Dancing with the Stars. So very, very interesting fun facts that we got to learn while we were there. And they also completely sold me on the Liberty Tree Tavern. I'm definitely thinking we're gonna have to try that when we go down there next time. So let me know if you've eaten there and what your opinions are, because it's apparently just like a full-on Thanksgiving meal, and that sounds like heaven to me. So yeah, so that is everything that I have to talk to you guys about food. Yay, food. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.